2025. Then we go to the Pledge of Allegiance. Nathan, can you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I always like to get that out of order. We have a roll call, please.
Councilwoman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilman Sindretto.
Present.
Councilman Reed.
Here.
Councilwoman Alcazar.
Here.
Councilman Stevenson.
Present.
Thank you. Consent agenda, any questions or items or comments?
I can't think of any. Motion to approve the consent agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Oh,
It needs to be amended with the.
Yeah.
Consent agenda.
Oh, we have to get down to where we approve it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Sandra, I.
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, I. Stevenson, I.
Alcazar, aye.
Motion passes. On the agenda approval, need to add one item, item number 4. Norden LaRue, it's a, here, going to work in code enforcement. We'll bring him up as an item number 4 under items for approval. Any other items that we need to change in the agenda?
Yeah, I need to add, if I could add before item I, if I could add a brief executive session under potential litigation.
Okay,
That's RCW 423110 paren 1I.
okay. Any other items?
You want it before item I?
Well, I thought it'd be best if we did it before, after public hearings, before we got to items for approval.
Okay.
For which,
Yeah, so right after H, in between H and I, if we could add it.
H and I?
Yeah, we could
Okay,
just add it there.
so that would be an executive session?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Any further changes? Move to approve the agenda as amended.
A second.
all in favor?
What's that?
All in favor?
Why does everybody look to me to say something?
Wadsworth,
first?
aye.
Reed, aye.
Sandra, I.
Stevenson, I.
Alcazar, aye.
Motion is approved. And we have staff reports. Treasurer's reports in the packet, the business licenses are in the packet. Did you want to add any comments from the building department?
No.
Okay,
Next.
okay, and Commander Clark, did you want to share any comments?
Did we just give you a field promotion?
That's okay.
Okay. I enjoy those. My pay won't reflect it though, I'm sure. All right, so for this previous month here back in August, total calls for service were right on par with what we had seen in years past, kind of the typical trend. Actual case offenses, which is anything that resulted in a case report or an incident report, were down from 2024. And of those, there is actually no significant cases. Most everything was minor in nature, some narcotics complaints, runaways, some simple trespass charges, stuff like that. So for the month of August, it was actually a good month for us, or for you guys, I should say. So any questions for us?
Yeah, why don't you tell us what top 3 things around our area that citizens should be watching for?
So as we go into this time of year, as it starts getting darker a little bit earlier, the suspicious circumstances which ultimately lead to your mail thefts, your other property crimes are going to start increasing as we hit the colder months and people want to warm up their cars in the morning. Don't do so with your keys in them. They tend to drive away when that happens. And so those are some of the important things that we want to remind folks as we start getting into these darker months throughout the year. It makes it a little bit easier for criminals to act under the cover of darkness for property crimes and thefts, like I said. And then we always see that huge uptick in auto thefts with cars warming up or, starting early, being left warm, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all you do. Appreciate
I don't
it.
do much these days, but I appreciate it anyways.
You're putting up with me next week if I can pay in advance.
That's a fair statement.
The Public Works Department,
Good evening. Just provide a brief update. Most of the information is in your packet under the staff report. A couple of things I did want to mention or request. Water system plan update. Speaking with our engineer, Akana, they would like to schedule a workshop to go over the new water system plan sometime in October. Preferably before a council meeting, say 6 o'clock meeting, if that's preferable, if that's possible. If not, we could schedule another night. Would like to schedule a workshop for the water system plan. And since we're talking about scheduling, we would also like to schedule at the October 7th meeting an on-site visit to 6th Street. We're expecting our survey results in soon and to go over options there based on what we've discussed in the past regarding 6th Street. So I'd like to tentatively schedule a 6:30 on-site visit at our October 7th meeting, if possible, and then discuss workshop for the water system plan as well. Does 6:30 work for everybody next October 7th? That's why we're shooting for 6:30. I mean, it's 7:10 now. That's in about 3 weeks. So we're hoping we'll have enough daylight to at least discuss what, the issues that we're facing over there.
I'm good.
Okay. And any preference for a workshop then for the water system plan update? We could do 6 o'clock on October. That'd be the
21st.
21st, if that works for everyone. So just an hour before the council meeting.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Real quick, before we go much farther, you have the public works, correct? Yes. I want to commend our city workers today. I heard Jenny, pretty much everybody had their hands in it. We had a fire breakout over by the old train bridge on the backside of the berm. We had a 3.5-minute response time, and the city's crew had their bucket loader and the water truck over there really quick. They got there before we did and started suppressing the fire, which kept the spread to a minimum. So kudos to the crew on their quick reaction, and I think the public needs to
Thank you.
know what our guys did today.
Thank you. I'll
So
definitely spread
thank
that
you.
to the
And
group.
Nathan even showed up, and it was good. No damage other than to some old growth.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you to your crew. Thank you to the fire department. My house is on the other side of that berm. It meant a lot to me.
Well, the minute we saw it, we got over there. So I'll let everybody know though that
We
you guys
appreciate
are
them.
definitely appreciated for that. So thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna adjourn our regular meeting and go to an executive session. We'll go over to the other side over there. So I'm turning the regular session. We're gonna go to executive session on the other side. How long will you need, Eric?
Let's do 10 minutes to start.
10 minutes, okay, so we'll be here back in here at about 21, 22 after the hour.
That is correct.
Look forward to it, actually.
Oh, yeah, let me, I'll wait for the invite. I didn't know he's around, so.
Calling Bend City Council meeting back to order on September 16th, 2025. We're going to extend the executive session until the bottom of the hour. Adjourning the regular session and going back to executive session.
Disability is my secret power.
Calling Benton City Council meeting back to order on September 16th, 2025. Items,
Mayor, before we continue, I just wanted to mention that the visitor comments, we missed opening for visitor comments earlier in the.
oh, sorry about that. Okay, do we have any visitors that'd like to make a comment
Non-agendas.
on a non-agenda item?
It's on an agenda item.
You
but
can't make a comment on an
But
agenda item when we
When
get to
can
that.
I ask a question of it? When it comes to, when
When it comes to the
Yeah.
floor.
we get to it, there'll
Right,
be a
right,
point I can
right.
ask a question about it.
Okay. Resolution 202543. This is a Steve Zepp consulting contract.
I had a question. Can I ask that?
Mhm.
Okay, so I noticed that it said, let me find. The total in 2.2 compensation and payment, the total amount billed by the contractor under this agreement shall not exceed $10,000 without prior written authorization by the city. Is that per task order, or is that per monthly or weekly? Right, so however long that takes to get,
Right.
okay,
How long is billing hours?
okay, so it would be if it takes a month, if it takes a year, if it takes 3 years. Okay, that was what I was curious
And I
about.
believe that it's agreements for, it's limited to, there's a time frame on the agreement. If I remember right.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, it's 1 year. If you look under.
1 year, okay.
Any further questions? Conversation? I move to approve resolution 2025-43, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with BMT Planning LLC.
A second.
All in favor?
Sandra abstain.
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Stevenson, I.
Alcazar, aye.
The motion passes. We have a preliminary plat for Mr. Saragosa that we'll have the planning department discuss.
Just real quick, while Mr. Prindle's coming up here, just want to remind everybody, this is a quasi judicial matter. It's a matter that the appearance of fairness doctrine applies. Anybody that has feels like they have any conflicts related to outside communication or other conflicts, financial or otherwise, would need to make those disclosed now. Hearing none, any members of the public seeking to disqualify any council members from proceeding on this matter? Hearing none, please proceed.
Alrighty. Hi there, Zach Brindle, Building and Planning here for the city. We're going to be revisiting the file PP 2502, which is the preliminary plat for a parcel down on 7th Street. The applicant requests the council to consider approval of the preliminary plat for the owner to divide one existing lot. It's a total of 11.51 acres into 39 new lots zoned R2 for single and multifamily residential developments. On April 29th, 2025, the Planning Commission held a public hearing and subsequently voted to recommend approval of DP 25-02.
Just a refresher, so because we've had a lot of history back and forth, so the long and short of it is this was the matter that was referred back to the remanded back to the Planning Commission for further review. They completed that review and then have forwarded the preliminary plat recommendation back to you as the council, and with their findings. At this point, it's a recommendation and the council needs to decide whether they want to move forward to adopt the council, or excuse me, adopt the Planning Commission's recommendation and findings. Only thing I would add is that the motion, should the motion move forward, it says, I move to approve the preliminary plat of applicant Hilario Zaragoza as recommended by planning commission and adopt the findings.
Does anybody have the page of that? Some.
I'm sorry. Just brought a section.
There we go. Here you go.
Thank you. I move to approve the preliminary plat of applicant Hilario Zaragoza as recommended by the planning commission and findings.
Second.
All in favor?
Start over there.
I abstain.
Stevenson, I.
Reed, aye.
Jessica or Wadsworth, I.
Sandretto, no.
Motion passes. We have first read on the floodplain ordinance, and you wanted to make a comment on that? Okay,
I did.
you've got 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tim Small, 904 Babs Avenue. I assume this ordinance that you're passing is based on FEMA's new flood maps and their recommendations. And it looks to me like you guys are kind of jumping the gun here because they haven't even adopted them, and they are not even scheduled, possibly clear till 27 to have them adopted. And there's a time frame where us as a public have a comment period, and then also an appeal process. And you guys are jumping ahead of that. Is what I see here. So basically, you're going to adopt it before FEMA even adopts it, and gives us a chance that are in that new area, or comment or appeal process.
You want to comment?
Yeah, I can.
Zach?
All right, so Zach Brindle, Building and Planning here again. So on the new adoption of the city's new ordinance for the floodplain, we are trying to be proactive, so we are not gonna have more changes to our floodplain as we're seeing now. Anytime something gets built in a floodplain of any kind, next time we do a remapping, we increase our flood zone. The idea of getting ahead of this draft map, because we were given access to this quite some time ago, and a time frame that was a little bit closer to now than it has been extended to, was the intention was to get ahead of these flood changes and prevent people from building in an area and then in a year from now find out that you're in the middle of a flood zone. So the idea is beneficial before you have the wool pulled over your eyes, so to speak, and didn't know this was coming. We've had a few people do it, building in that area just after knowing that these changes are going to be coming into effect. They chose to build flood compliant to avoid the huge increases in insurance and other things. The time frame on adoption is just for those reasons. The appeal period will still be in place. That's all through FEMA. So if you want to change a map, that can be done via them, but it would have to be all through FEMA. And then once that map changes, we go off that map. So if the map changed, we also would go off the subsequent change.
My understanding from the part that I participated in is the ordinances themselves, the conditions of building in the different floodplain models will not change, but we can challenge the map aspect.
Yeah, but
What is and what's not.
Correct. Yeah. So the
And
map
that-
can be
that's-
challenged.
That was
Our ordinances
that was
are
my
ours.
understanding from what.
Yeah. And Benton City's gonna just adopt a no rise requirements that pretty much anywhere you build, we require a no rise construction. So that just says that everything you do doesn't affect the rise of our city floodplain and flood risk areas.
I remember when FEMA first started telling us about this, there was a 5-foot rise. And we were gonna look at doing some mitigation to try and lower that. Has that happened?
I don't know anything about that, unfortunately. No, we can't change flood maps actively with mitigation practices. As a city, we'd have to get that approved, come up with an engineered design plan, submit that, get approval. It's a multifaceted kind of project there. Ecology be involved in FEMA. As far as I know, we have not done anything in that regard, at least not since I've been here.
The wording on the definition of supplied has been supplied to us by FEMA and Department of Ecology. The other change in this is a correction of an error in the original ordinance where the wording was given to us incorrectly by Department of Ecology. And that wording is modified to reflect the way it should be written. That included the words and or in it, you know, supposed to be just been the word and. They sent a letter of apology to me for that error. We've just held off on updating the flood ordinance until we had things all together, so we don't have to do it once.
Could I make one more comment?
Yeah.
I checked with the other cities that are on that affected by the flood ordinances and the flood of the Yakima River, and we're the only one that are jumping ahead of FEMA. Nobody else is pushing it like Benton City is. And I checked with all the other cities. I went to the second meeting that FEMA had in Richland and asked that very question to every one of the cities that was represented there, and they aren't.
Anyone have any other questions regarding floodplain? There's not much I can say on that topic where every city adopts independently.
Well, I guess I'll ask the question, what's the purpose of adopting earlier than we need to?
Anywhere that we let people build now, when this flood change happens, it will increase our flood area and we'll have active calves. And we need to stay compliant.
The other advantage of it is if a builder were to develop a house and finance it, and it's not in the floodplain currently, and then the floodplain goes into effect, they're gonna get a notice from their bank telling them that they're going to have to buy flood insurance, and the cost of those premiums will be impacted by how well they built the flood standard.
Correct.
If we as a city don't approve it now and builders build, could the new prospective buyers come back on the city?
There's a potential liability.
Yeah.
we
There's a
know that.
liability with that.
Yeah. It's a loose one. We do know it's coming, so we've been informing everybody even until the moratorium was put in place, just so they had the option, so to speak, to plan ahead and be proactive or, you know, go with the current standards. It is going to be the most beneficial long-term for everybody. Buying and living in the houses that'll be affected. It will be, you know, probably not so much so on the developer side initially, just because of additional costs and requirements, obviously, but the intention is beneficial to all people that are going to be living in these homes.
Mr. Small, what's your major opposition to this ordinance?
Well, the major opposition is that we've jumped ahead of FEMA, who has actually pushed this. And it doesn't make any sense to me, and we're the only city doing it. I've got their timeline, and it's all, they have no firm timeline. And it's the appeal and amendment process won't even open up till possibly spring of 26. Their effective date is possibly spring of 2027, so we're way ahead of.
Tim, you still have the option to challenge their draft map. That doesn't go away from you. You still have the ability to change it. If you change it, then whatever changes are implemented for your request would apply to what we're doing.
But you're placing the burden on me to change it when it's not even been adopted. Or anybody, you're putting the burden on the residents when it hasn't even been adopted by FEMA. So it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know why it's being pushed so hard here.
Well, I can answer that. It's the liability issues. If you, and I know you have a development down there that you're working with, but
And this really doesn't.
if you go in and build and we know this, we're aware of this. And you sell the houses and then somebody has to do a $10,000 upgrade, and I'm just being facetious in that. Then they have the option to come back against the city. So we're trying to get ahead of it to protect the city's liability. That's the answer. Everything we do is about liability on this side of the table.
But it based on what though? I mean,
The potential for litigation.
you don't get up in the morning, that's the thing, I mean, it's this. Do you realize that their flood that the elevations and all this new flood mapping and stuff is based on a 10% greater flood than one we had in 96. So what are the chances of that happening?
You had your morning or 3 minutes.
Yes, I have, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mayor, if I could just clarify, Mayor, could I just clarify just one question? Because I from a legal perspective, I just want to make sure that, and this is maybe a question just for staff, is that for my edification and councils, but is it what I heard correct, that the ability to require zero rise construction would not in the future, if you do that now, even though the map hasn't been completely approved, that won't add to an expansion of a floodplain down the road. So the goal is to prohibit or to limit the construction that doesn't comply with zero rise, which would count against the city downrange.
Correct. Yes, we're trying to impose this ordinance so that the city doesn't have to keep changing these flood maps. I mean, we were the most impacted, bar none, multipliers through the roof. I mean, a huge majority of our town has moved in because non-compliant structures that don't meet no rise. We need to keep our city out of the floodplain for so many reasons. And this was a recommendation from Ecology and FEMA. This isn't something that we didn't create the verbiage on this. This was them saying, use the best available science to do the best choice for the town. And this is what they gave us.
Really hate that term. Go motion to table the ordinance till January 1st.
Just really quick, I wasn't sure, what is the time frame left on our moratorium that we currently have placed? Would that be something we'd be able to extend until January? We'd have to
We're
reenact?
okay, we just
Okay.
extend.
I wasn't sure when we'd started that.
And then reword it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Stevenson, I.
Alcazar.
Motion's table till January 1st. We have, Jenny? We have a new employee. Would you like to introduce him? I should say prospective employee at the moment.
Yes,
Assisting in code enforcement.
yep, Jenny with Code Enforcement and Animal Control for the city. So we are hiring on, or respectively hiring on, Jordan LaRue as a Code Enforcement Animal Control Officer.
You want to come up and have some questions for you?
Hi.
You have any questions for Mr. LaRue?
Well, I guess the first piece I'll ask him is, based on your resume here, you don't have any experience in code enforcement, I take it.
No, I do not.
And you're looking to get into it and see what it's like, or what are we doing here?
I just want to get into something that's more permanent and that'll help where I'm at, where I'm living. I want to just see it better, be better.
Have you worked it in the past with any animals?
At BID, I mean, we would deal with animals a little bit, like, there would be, like, sometimes, we'd have quite a few dogs that would come around our, pump stations and our substations that we would have. And, so, I mean, I say wild, but I mean, obviously somebody would leave food out for them, but I mean, yeah, I have no problems with any animals.
What about big animals like cattle?
Oh, I have no problem with that either. My uncles, raise, cattle. So I have no problem with that. They also have, some pigs and sheep as well.
That was my question, was gonna be about your animal experience.
Yeah, like I said, I've not personally like worked with animals, but I have like quite a bit of experience with animals like myself.
Tell me about your experience dealing with the public.
Most of my jobs have been, I like, I have a lot of face to face with just, like customers and stuff like that. So I've like, I like to say I have like a lot of customer slash public experience. Like, when I worked at LaShaw, we would, be face to face with customers a lot, explaining what was going on with their cars, problems that would occur, whether they would need new tires or anything like that. At BID, it was, also a lot. Well, I like to say similar just because I was face to face with a lot of people, just explaining to them how pipes may have broken, freeze problems, filters that have been clogged, just, walking them through the steps of how we'd fix it and how they could, avoid future problems.
So in applying for this job, did you research any of the Benton City Municipal Code?
I have not yet. I will not. I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. I've been, in the activity of moving currently, so I'm trying to get all of my stuff set up in my house.
So did I see that you do live in Benton City?
Yes.
Okay. That could save Jenny a drive.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that before.
It's okay.
You ever had a customer become very unhappy with you because of something you've had to tell them?
Yes, and also from actions I have had. When I worked at Les Schwab, we were, a gentleman bought new wheels for his truck, and, we had center caps that we were putting on. And the screws, my best guess is that they might have, cross-threaded, so they didn't tighten all the way. And so as he was pulling out, his center caps came off his truck. And, so we actually had to go back through and tell him before he got off the lot, because he was driving out of the bay and just going around to the front to pay. And he didn't notice, so he ran up front to make sure that we told him before he left, so it wasn't a bigger issue. And, obviously he was quite upset with that, but, we ended up giving him a discount on the wheels just as kind of like courtesy, like, we're sorry this happened.
So to go along with that, you realize that being a municipal employee, although it shouldn't happen, you will get verbally abused.
Yes, I do understand that.
Okay. You do realize you'll have to be a mediator and try to work with people.
Yeah, you're the middleman. You have to, you calm the problem, not
Okay.
raise it.
And how old are you, just curious?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Can we ask that?
I asked it.
I'm like, I don't think we can ask that.
Move to strike, Your Honor.
I object. You have some gaps in your resume though, like from Tire Tech in May 2022 is when you left, and then you didn't start a lube tech job until 2023 in April. And
Yeah,
I noticed several of those.
I was going through an eviction at my apartment, and so I went from living in Richland, and I went all the way to Badger, living at my mom's house in a trailer I had bought. So that kind of messed up my schedule of being able to effectively work, I guess is the way I could put it. And then I had a gap from in between BID and the other one because my father had passed away.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
All motion to approve confirmation.
Second.
All in favor?
Sandra, do I?
Wadsworth, aye.
Reed, aye.
Stevenson, I.
Alcazar, aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I really appreciate it, guys.
Good luck.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Listen to your boss.
Oh,
Learn a lot from her.
He's all yours.
You know.
yeah.
So I understand, Jordan may not have the experience, right? He was chosen, he's a Benton City resident, which is a huge opportunity for him to have a career and raise his family here. And so I'm looking forward to working with him, and I believe this is going to be awesome and we'll be able to do twice as much. And I'm excited. So thank you for approving him and congratulations, Jordan.
Thank you.
And if Jenny's happy, we're happy.
That's true.
Okay, any unfinished business? Any new business? Any miscellaneous?
It's been requested of me again, when is the hole in front of the house on 909 in the road gonna be fixed? Since they're gonna be repaving down from the lift station, is there any that could fall off the truck and fix that hole?
It's their contractor's obligation.
Mhm. Okay, well, they did to me.
Well, that brings up a good point.
I keep hearing it.
And before he gets talking here, if you have a reported concern as a citizen, you need to file that with the city. The city doesn't always get to some things because of others' priorities, or they don't see things. We've got to make a written report to the city when there's a problem. Go ahead, Nathan.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we do have a citizen action request form, so. When
Citizen
folks,
action request.
yeah, and you can either fill it out or honestly, even if we get an email, we just generate the form off of an email request. Yeah. Yeah, it's a car form.
Car?
Regarding,
This is an action request.
Oh.
yeah, regarding asphalt patching, we were actually scheduled for tomorrow, but the plants aren't running asphalt. They've been running sparingly because of the strike with, I believe it's the crane operators. So a lot of patching, a lot of asphalt isn't going on. And it's kind of,
Still
we've
going.
had it scheduled for a good four
Well,
separate times,
front-ended
but
it.
not able to get asphalt. So
Okay,
we're continuing to try to work with the plant and get some the next time they're running some for us.
We have to
And
top
we've
this
got quite a bit of
department.
patching scheduled at
And-
that time.
and I know there's signs down there that say motorcycles, be careful, but there's nothing liability issue that could happen for the city because it hasn't been fixed yet, right?
Are you referring to the construction down on Babs for the lift station
Yes.
specifically?
Yeah,
No, we're meeting all of our traffic control plan requirements.
I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
Well, I've got you in the hot seat. Where's our park survey? How's that been?
Well, we've extended it till the end of the month. We've gotten 32 or 36 responses out of almost 4,000 people in the town. So get the word out, please.
I have.
Is it
Keep
on,
doing it.
is it on Facebook?
Yes,
Is
we've
it-
actually put it on twice. We
Twice?
just reposted it yesterday, again, to kind of bring it up to the top. So folks will vote on that. But anyone here, anyone listening, be sure to go online. Vote for the parks we're looking at renaming. I recommend, we're looking at Watauga Park as the David Sandretto Park. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Okay.
However, I do ask that you please, if you haven't yet, go on, complete the survey and let everybody else know so they can as well.
Is it only restricted to in-city residents or can people outside of the city
People outside the city can,
vote too?
yeah,
Okay,
we don't have enough technology to restrict it that way. So it's just an open survey.
Okay.
So. Anything else?
For you, no, not that I can think of.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Take the rest of that off paid.
Thank you, sir.
I do just general council statement, and that's, I appreciate the hard work that the city staff puts in. And even our lawyer.
Thank you.
There's a lot of facets to this city. And to every citizen listening and every citizen that's here, understand that one item on this agenda there is 150 others that are being dealt with at any given time in the city. We have poured more money through grants and things to fix your sewer systems and to do the water systems than I can even count. And just because we don't have a park or a sidewalk in the right condition, we are trying. So be advised that there's a lot going on here. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Any other miscellaneous council discussion? Any motions?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Stephen and I.
Aye.
City Council, September 16th, 2025, hereby adjourned.
What's that?